Welcome to the News Minute with FBA PAGEBOY. Tonight's headlines. I don't like showing this type of shit, but I wanted to speak on it. If you haven't seen the video, here it is right here.
A terrifying encounter caught on camera at a gas station on Indianapolis's north side. Here you can see a man holding a pistol to a woman's head as she tries to get away. And as you see here, even as he backs away from her, he continues to point the gun at her.
There was so much for me to think about, but that bullet was my main worry.
Kevin Edwards started recording the altercation while others called police. He says in this video, you can see the two confronting each other. And according to court documents, this is when the man says the woman pointed a gun at him, which she denies.
Words were exchanged. He got to calling her, racial slurs, and she didn't like that. Probably wasn't comfortable with it from what I'm gonna assume, but that's when he pulled the gun. As you can see in the video, he's choking her against the car.
In the court documents, the man admits to police that he told the woman he was going to, quote, blow her head off.
The fear of having a firearm placed in your face, at your head, and words uttered in which a threat is made, it's inexcusable, and it's scary and life-altering for this victim.
Officer Tommy Thompson with IMPD says this is a prime example of people not using their words to solve problems.
We as adults have to do better. We in society have to do better. We cannot resort to conflict resolution that yields a firearm to solve our problem.
Thompson says when arguments start to escalate, people just need to walk away and take a breath. Right now, the man you saw in that video has been arrested for several different reasons, including intimidation and battery with a deadly weapon, strangulation, and criminal confinement. As for any formal charges, those will be filed by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office.
See, this is that shit I'm talking about. They really just want us to, get out there and do our thing. They want us to crash out on some real. But the question is, where's our hate crime bill? They done gave a hate crime bill for Asians, everybody else. They even got crime bills against animals in this country, but ain't shit protecting the black Americans. Another day, another hate crime. But where's the protection for foundational black Americans? Once again, another violent racist attack has come across our social media timelines. Should have made the mainstream headlines, but you know how the mainstream goes. Reminding us that some folks seem to think make America great again means make black people targets again. This particular story, this old white pork face, elderly man, sour, attacks a young black woman while she's pumping her gas. The man pulls a gun on her, holds her at gunpoint. Because apparently, even us just pumping gas, they can't seem to mind their own business. And that seems to bother them as well. The young woman was just pumping the gas, and this man took it upon himself to, you've seen the video. But I'm going to take the time to speak on a bigger issue. Where is our fucking hate crime bill for foundational black Americans? I know you want us to crash out. I know you want us to bang out. But we holding our peace. We holding our peace. We got a greater mission, greater purpose on this earth than to be crash dummies with you losers. Every time another racial attack happens against FBAs, all we get is thoughts, prayers, and a fucking viral hashtag, but no real federal protection that targets the specific violence and discrimination Black Americans face daily. So let's talk about numbers. You know, since America, they like to respect numbers. The only time they don't like to hear about numbers is when it comes to Black Americans and when we speak up about racism or reparations. In 2021, Black Americans were the most targeted racial group in America based on statistics from the FBI. And I'm sure that number is still the same. Look it up. Meanwhile, other groups have received federal protection. You know it as the COVID-19 Hate Crime Act. That was specifically designed to protect Asians. Crime bill to protect Asians. That bill moved through Congress faster than a damn Karen demanding to speak to a manager at Starbucks. Yet when Black Americans ask for specific protection under law, politicians suddenly get amnesia, hearing loss, or bad Wi-Fi connection. Let's be real. Black Americans face a unique history of racial violence, from being enslaved to Jim Crow, lynchings, police brutality, workplace discrimination, and now here we are, random hate, evil-filled attacks at a damn gas station. A specific hate crime bill for foundational Black Americans is necessary, and it should include mandatory sentences, federal sentences, for racially motivated attacks against our citizens, our Black American citizens. It should be specific task force, kind of like how y'all have the hip hop police. There should be specific task force to investigate organizations and, you know, the hate that you see online, because that's mainly where these cowards be. And then in person, they like to pick soft targets. They know who to run up and who not to run up on. To investigate, you know, specific hate crimes targeting Black Americans. There should also be protections against racial, economic discrimination, like redlining and hiring biases. And as far as the gun laws, look, anybody can get a gun. You know, as far as, you know, them making them policies stronger and this and that, they really need to crack down on these, you know, these cowards, these, you know, these head cases that make our communities a damn Call of Duty battleground. They go and shoot at shit that don't return fire. I don't see how anybody looks at this shit as, you know, anyway, yeah, it's wild. They know exactly, you know, like I say, where to go, a grocery store, you know, where our grandmas and our, you know, our wives and shit. That's just wild. The truth is, America's legal system has always been selective about who gets protection and who gets left to fend for themselves. Black Americans have built this country, fought and won in these wars, and shaped and molded this culture we have here in America, minus the degeneracy. We don't claim that shit. Yet when it comes to protection, the government act like we a guest star in a show that we built, in a country we literally built. If there's one thing that history has taught us, is that nothing changes unless we demand it. Because waiting around for politicians and lawmakers to do the right thing has never worked. So like this story, this young lady that was randomly attacked by this old pork face, held at gunpoint at a gas station. Because there is going to be a next time. This doesn't stop until we stop it. We need not to ask why this happened. We need to ask, why is there still no law to prevent this? Because let's be real, if these cowards knew that they were going to get repercussions, consequences for these things, like if there was some black men out there, of course that wouldn't have happened. The right black men out there, no, that ain't happening. Because they like to do this on soft targets, They pussy, you feel me? But if America can pass a hate crime bill in record time for others, it could do the same for black Americans, the very people who built this country from the ground up.